Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to today's episode of I Never Thought I Was Going to Make a Video refuting my own article on myself in the Swiss news. This just made me laugh. So for some of you who watch my channel, you may know that I did a video while I was in Switzerland a few months ago talking about a kiosk over here that was supposed to be displaying train times or something like that. And instead of displaying that, it was displaying a Windows error. And this is something that I found funny. You'll notice that this is something I've done over the years. If I'm at it doesn't matter what country I'm in, if I'm at an airport or if I'm at some place where I'm not expecting to see a Windows error and I see a Windows error, I will usually record it with a funny title. I don't know if this is Windows 7 or Windows XP. It just looks like some really old ass Windows that's blue screening. I said TSA versus Windows XP. Windows XP wins. Now to be clear, this is obviously a joke. The TSA is not fighting Windows XP. Windows XP did not get into a boxing ring. It is a funny title for a funny throwaway video. When I said Swiss mass transit destroyed by Windows 7, SBB will never recover from this. No, I am not implying that an entire fucking country will be destroyed by a single Windows 7 computer crashing. It is a joke. But the news has decided to take this seriously. And because the news has decided to take this seriously, as will I. Let's get started. So this is an article from Watson.ch. American YouTuber mocks SBB for ancient Windows software and misses the mark. Oh, really? While visiting Switzerland, the American YouTuber passed a malfunctioning SBB timetable display at Zurich's main train station and felt the urge to film it. He quickly made a video. On YouTube, he uses sensationalist titles. Swiss mass transit destroyed. SBB will never recover from this. Of course, it's not meant to be taken seriously. That's not going to stop them from doing it, though. But the short film, shot with a female companion, has been a hit with the audience, especially the Swiss fans. It has already been viewed over 330,000 times and received a lot of comments. Watson investigated. Who is this? Louis Rossmann is a renowned activist for right to repair. The now 37-year-old American was already active on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. A gray Windows error message is displayed on a defective SBB information screen in Zurich's main station instead of the expected train departures. Crash due to memory error. A program crash exposed the classic Windows desktop. Rossmann jokingly complains that he can't empty the recycle bin because he doesn't have a touchscreen. Criticism of SBB. Rossmann and his female companion make fun of the fact that SBB uses a supposedly outdated Windows operating system instead of a more efficient system for a train display. Okay. That is not a supposedly outdated Windows operating system. Do not gaslight me, asshole. That is Windows 7, which is no longer supported. And if you want to use Windows 7 on your home computer, you do you. If you want to use Windows 7 at a train station, again, you do you. But don't tell me that I missed it. Security concerns. The YouTuber jokingly points out potential dangers, as the system is probably outdated and no longer receives regular updates. What's behind it? Rossmann has exaggerated in the manner. In fact, the video's premise is technical ignorance coupled with a clickbait title. And here's where we start having fun. When asked by Watson, SBB media spokesperson confirmed that the malfunctioning timetable display was an operational status monitor. The spokesperson is not allowed to say which Windows operating system is used and how long it will take to receive security updates from the manufacturer. What the fuck you mean you're not allowed to say what Windows operating system is used? We can't say the version of it. I'm technically ignorant when you can't even admit that that's Windows fucking 7? Are you serious? For security reasons, we cannot provide any further details. However, we are taking precautions to ensure that the systems are protected. For security reasons, you can't even admit whether that is Windows 7, 10, 11, Linux 3.1. That is security through obscurity, and that is complete fucking bullshit. How dare you call me technically ignorant when you're not even able to say what version of Windows it is? But wait, it gets better. It can technically be assumed that such display boards are operated in completely isolated networks, so-called VLANs, without direct internet access. Therefore, panic regarding an outdated version of Windows 10 or Windows 7, even if we're outdated, is unfounded. No, that's not the point. It is not that. No, that is a category error. Isolation is going to stop remote attackers, but that has nothing to do with reliability. And this is a reliability issue. It is not the VLAN that failed. It is not the isolation that failed. It is the operating system that failed. But wait, it gets better. The error message, computer has run out of working memory, is typical symptom of a memory leak in a web browser. The Swiss Federal Railways rely on Firefox for displaying public transformation and kiosk mode, and that's where the reason was for the display error. Firefox, in its so-called kiosk mode, continuously loads live data such as train delays or track changes over days or weeks. However, if the unused memory is not properly released, the program will crash sooner or later. The browser process continues to grow until it uses up all the PC's RAM. At that point, a Windows protection mechanism kicks in the operating system, terminating the process consuming the most memory to prevent a complete system freeze. Because Firefox is forcibly closed, the full screen closes, and therefore Rossmann and his companion suddenly see the bare Windows desktop with the recycle bin. You called me technically ignorant when you're saying that Firefox is supposed to be operating in kiosk mode rather than the operating system. Where do I even begin here? Number one, You're not supposed to operate Firefox by hitting F11. That is not kiosk mode making Firefox full screen. Microsoft sells an entirely separate product for this whole thing, and it is not an outdated version of Windows 7. They sell Windows IoT Enterprise for fixed purpose devices like digital signs, kiosks, etc. It has 10 years of support, and Windows desktop version is not the product for that. If the reporter of this article had a fucking clue what they were talking about while calling me technically ignorant, they would realize that you do not run a browser in kiosk mode by hitting F11, that you run an operating system in kiosk mode. When you have an operating system that is designed to be used as a kiosk, you will never see the desktop wallpaper. You will never see the recycle bin, and you will never see something running out of memory. In Linux, you can have something like systemd that's automatically going to restart it if something like this happens. In Windows, they have a literal product for this. Do you know why? And this is the thing that drives me nuts about this article. You have made me so mad, I am now going to defend New York City. How many times in the 20 fucking years that I've been taking a subway have I ever seen a blue screen of death or an out of memory error on one of these or one of these? Never. It never happens because that is a proper system running a proper fucking kiosk. You will never see some out of memory error on any of those systems, which brings me to my main fucking point. The bug that you're seeing here with the out of memory, that is not a bug with Firefox. That is a bug with your outdated ass version of Windows, and it is reported by fucking Microsoft. Fixed desktop heap allocation failures causing out of memory errors. And when you scroll down, it literally says the physical RAM on the computer does not affect the desktop heap size. You can't improve the performance by adding physical RAM. This is a literal Windows limit, a Win32K kernel resource limit. This is Microsoft KB 947246 on Microsoft's website. So let's get this straight. You're using the wrong operating system for the job. You're using a 17 to 20-year-old outdated version of the wrong operating system for the job. You're not configuring it properly. I'm technically ignorant for pointing it out. My first video was a passing joke. This video is serious. Don't take my word for it. Take a look at Blue News. SBB struggles with known Windows problem in Zurich. I apologize if my translation is not great here. I'm using Google Translate plugin. The blame probably lies with the system cache that is dimension too small by default, the desktop heap. This was covered over 2.5 years ago. You had 2.5 years to fix this shit, and you didn't. And instead of fix it, instead of saying, oh yeah, our bad, we haven't gotten around to it, you want to discredit somebody who has dedicated their life to running a technology business and claiming that I'm technically ignorant in your fucking newspaper. Fuck you. My video is a joke, but since you guys are pretending to be news, let me demonstrate what a real newspaper writes about when they actually want to research an issue to figure out what is causing the problem. The blame probably lies with system cache that is dimension too small by default, the desktop heap. SBB struggles with known Windows problem in Zurich because, unlike you who can't admit what operating system you're running, I see that you're running an old version of Windows 7. A version of Windows 7 that Microsoft themselves admits has a bunch of bugs. This is a known bug with Microsoft Windows 7. Not only are you using an outdated operating system, but you are using the wrong version of the outdated operating system because browsers don't run in kiosk mode, operating systems do. If you were using a minimal Linux operating system or a modern one, you wouldn't be having this problem. But more importantly, if you were using a Microsoft Windows product that was actually made for this, they do make products for this, you can buy an IoT version, you can buy a kiosk version of Windows rather than use desktop one, you can use assigned access to run a single app full screen and have it restart when there's a problem, which you didn't. You wouldn't be having this issue to begin with. How fucking dare you call me technically ignorant when you did no research before making this stupid fucking article? And here's the thing that kills me about this more than anything else. It's not that you were wrong about all of this. It's not that you don't understand what assigned access is. It's not that you don't understand the concept of having a systemd service that restarts when there's an issue. It's not the fact that you have that you think that security through obscurity exists. That if I don't tell you that's using Windows 7, somehow that's more secure. Somehow the public is so fucking stupid they couldn't figure that out on their own. It's not that you denigrate my reputation in a public paper by saying that I'm technically ignorant. It's that you chose to take a joke seriously. I know all of you at some point in your life have experienced that specific, unique piece of shit human being that takes something that you said as a joke, takes it 100% seriously, and then uses it to frame you as an idiot or a buffoon. Nice try, try again. Here's the thing that pisses me off among all. It's not that you called me technically ignorant in a major fucking newspaper when you didn't take 90 seconds of Googling to do any of your homework to look up if any of this stuff is true. It's that you chose to take something that is very clearly and obviously a joke seriously. I am rescinding the apology that I put in the video comments there for people who are actually taking this very seriously, because I see at this point what this is. And this is just stupid. I loved my time in Switzerland, and thank you very much to all the people that I met in Zurich and all the people that I met when I went to that Marcos Valle concert, to the people that I met at Schweizer Manat that did the interview that on ownership that I really enjoyed doing for a few hours. Everybody there, I would say 99% of the people that I met treated me like I was their brother. And it was just an amazing experience getting to meet so many of you in the streets in Switzerland. It was so beautiful. But this is the 1%. There's 1% of the people that I met. Well, I'm doing my morning jog. I'm running. I say hi or hoy. I'm still learning how to do this. Dankeschön, bitteschön. I'm sorry, my accent sucks. I say hi, I wave, and they look at me like, "What the fuck are you looking at me for?" And they just stare, and they don't wave or say anything back. Like, I'm wondering, like, are they going to call ICE or like Swice on me or something? Like, this is 1% of the people that I met that were so serious. If I go, "How are you?" They look at me as like, "What do you mean, how am I? What business is it of yours how I am?" It's like, bro, I'm just saying, chillax. And you're that 1%. You're that 1% of the asshole. And I made a mistake. My personal trainer has told me for a long time, don't process bullshit. And Dino always told me, don't accept the premise of assholes. In deciding to write a 2-page article in this paper, I am calling me technically ignorant when you don't even know that Microsoft has a dedicated product for this. I have accepted the premise of assholes. And the last premise of this, that I knew exactly what I was doing. A clickbait title provides many reactions from people who want to disagree. The YouTube algorithm doesn't distinguish between blah, blah, blah. This was a throwaway video. This video was supposed to get 5,000 views max and move on. I don't care if my YouTube videos get 1,000 views or 1,000,000 views. You know why? Because I've told people on my channel for over 10 years, install ad block. I don't have a single sponsor. You know what happens when I go to your website though? I get this bullshit. Please disable your ad blocker. 80 journalists here make a living from advertising. I don't care if my viewers view my videos or not. I don't care if they have an ad blocker run or not. Because I make my money by selling useful products and services to people who find my skills valuable. How many people would pay for a Watson article? You guys don't even know how to look up Microsoft bug reports. That's what I thought. I knew what I was doing. I was making a joke. But here's the thing. Let's be serious for a moment. I got over 4,000 videos on my channel. I talk about consumer rights all the time. One of the big reasons that I was in Switzerland was to do a 2-hour-long interview with a renowned magazine there to go over consumer rights and the revocation of ownership. While I was in Switzerland, I talked about Bamboo Lab, and I put out a bounty on Bamboo Lab, a company that's violating the AGPL to try and mainstream the concept of 3D printing being a lockdown ecosystem. There's a lot of stuff that I did while I was in Switzerland, engaging with people in the country and talking with... What did you choose to go over? Did you choose to go over the substantive stuff? The 2-hour-long conversations that I was having about real, genuine issues that affect people in society? Or did you choose to go over the throwaway joke video? You went over the joke video. Why? Because you, unlike me, make your living from advertising. And you, unlike me, care about the things that don't matter, but that are going to get more attention. Fuck out of here with that shit. Nice try. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. And to the writer of that article at Watson, go fuck yourself for being in that 1%. Thank you very much to everybody that I met in Zurich for making me feel like I was at home. I genuinely enjoyed it, and I can't wait to go back. I'll see you all later. Maybe I'll do a meetup when I'm there next time, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.